Based on a neoliberal model of corporatist society, the certain Persian Gulf city is located approximately 100 miles from the sea. For actors in the city's spatio-temporal aperture, competition is a ubiquitous logic driving Anglo-Western progress and Gulf traditional values. Since my 2011 part-time residency in a Persian Gulf country as a British-trained American ethnographer, I increasingly came to appreciate direct ethnographic seeing as an abiding yet time-consuming methodology for sociological research. Emerging from urban case studies conducted during the 20th century, this unpredictable methodology is a particular form of fieldwork that combines the researcher's detached observation with taking part with what is going on. Direct ethnographic seeing is a flexible, in-depth emic approach which adapts well to emergent findings, especially the unexpected. In addition to observing how mosques and malls were built up from scratch to become fully functioning artifacts, I wanted to apprehend the structures out of which the urban vernacular arose in mixed and shared built environments. Electrification of the rural desert is generally perceived as a sign of development and economic growth. At the same time, there is anxiety over rural decline and potential social exclusion of rural residents. This exploratory study seeks to build upon my fundamental understanding of technocultures, which was worked out in earlier ethnographies. Technoculture is ever-changing existence and tools for living before essence and abstract meanings, and is largely preconscious, taken for granted, and is not normally immediately available for expression in words by individuals. Most people are good at everyday living, not at analyzing life or even putting it into words. Direct ethnographic seeing helped to grasp those deep meanings and mine them for understanding. This paper interrogates what is shared between social constructions of mosques and malls by seeing competition as an ethnographic object. Ethnographic seeing helped me to apprehend the impact of urbanization on various areas and the processes of social and spatial differentiation that go along with it. Sociologists suggest that urban residents are overwhelmed by stimuli due to the sheer number of people living in close proximity to each other. To cope, urbanites must isolate from their surroundings. During the late 1980s, American sociology proffered the idea that the city is a growth machine manipulated by powerful actors for their benefit, such as buyers and land, hoping it will increase in value. In addition to land speculators, there are Muslims aiming for divine blessings in their next life. Muslims believe that Prophet Muhammad said, "Whoever builds a mosque for the sake of God, like a sparrow's nest for God or even smaller, God will build for him a house in paradise." What realities are imagined and enacted when competition is invoked in these different contexts? As this desert region becomes increasingly enmeshed in a neoliberal global order, mosques play an essential role in many people's lives as they seek familiarity and structure in a complex and seemingly foreign world of technocultural change. Developed about 1400 years ago, Islam centers on the teachings in the recitation, or Quran in Arabic, as revealed through the angel Gabriel to Prophet Muhammad of Arabia. Islam, however, views itself as restorative because earlier peoples had failed to maintain the accuracy of the previous prophets' messages to what eventually became known as Judaism and Christianity. Islam considers itself not a new religion, but the final culmination and fulfillment of the same basic truth that God revealed to Prophet Adam and continuously echoed through subsequent prophets. Islam literally means peace. Peace with God, peace with oneself, and peace with the creations of God. A bakala, or small fresh produce shop, is often seen adjacent to mosques. State agencies, however, develop increasingly onerous regulations in their licensing. In this certain Persian Gulf city, only 20% of the population is indigenous. The rest are workers from other countries. Oil experts, oil exports fuel a consumer society in which the amount of goods consumed rather than manufactured are a barometer for discerning economic health. A corollary to consumption is the construction of places for selling goods. Under competitive conditions of corporative capitalism, the construction of shopping malls as a pressing need was inevitable. Malls unfold as spectacular wonders in which progress and cosmopolitan values are symbolized. Are we able to ethnographically see if some people are hesitant in embracing the logic of corporatist consumerism? The youngest generation of the city's indigenous population undergoes secondary socialization quite unlike that of their parents and grandparents. The transformative power of consumerist technoculture encourages these youngsters of the desert to play indoor ice hockey inside the shopping mall. From delicatessens to groceries, big box food stores become a globalized cultural object that play an important role in the city's consumerism. Eventually, human actions solidify into institutions that melt into the background of people's lives. The rules and procedures set by standard-setting bodies become embodied into physical and digital entities of the institutional bedrock. Many processes, including globalization, localization, protectionism, commodification, and enclosure, are inescapably place-based. By using the lens of ethnographic seeing to explore technoscapes and places, I interrogate how such processes and the generative tensions between them have played out differently in parts of the city. How do such complex processes play out differently across specific locations? What contexts best exemplify or complicate these general dynamics? Who stands to benefit and who bears the cost? The city's road system, established by automobile drivership, is increasingly depended upon for transportation throughout the country. This road system interconnects whole cities and allows for all types of transportation, whether public, private, or commercial. As a result of the city's road system catering to automobile drivership, mosque worshippers began driving to mosque instead of walking. Soon their familiarity with their neighbors vanished. Worshippers no longer walked together after prayer to their respective homes, and previously strong bonds were weakened. Car parks at mosques grew larger, and mosques too were constructed to hold growing numbers of worshippers, increasingly driving to mosques. Isolation can weaken social ties if it is limiting individuals from contact with others. Malls play a distinct role in isolating people or bringing them together because road technology serving automobile drivership inevitably has the ability to change patterns in society. Some neighborhoods in the city find 5G towers in their midst, while others do not. An even bigger mosque is under construction. The mega mosque infrastructure in place seems inclined to benefit those fortunate to earn sufficient wages to support car drivership, which otherwise leaves behind residents on lower economic levels. The result is a mosque lacking in working class worshippers. Mall hotels invited consumers for a New Year's Eve party on the 31st of December 2019, but in early 2020, pandemic hit. Malls and outdoor parks were shut and remain shut as of 31 January 2021. Mosques and public schools were shut and remain shut as of 31 January 2021. We've run out of time. Thank you for listening.